I'm your host, Donna Cates, and each week we'll dive into powerful stories, expert strategies, and practical tools to help you take charge of your financial future. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating a divorce, or simply looking to build your wealth with confidence, this is your space to grow, learn, and thrive. Let's get started with today's podcast. Good afternoon and welcome to Pamela Hawley, who is the founder and CEO of Universal Giving. We're so happy to have you today.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
You're very, very welcome. And I apologize for our little technological challenges that we had, but we've made it through and now we're going to be awesome. So I
That
wanted
sounds
to tell
great.
you, Pamela, what I want to do today is focusing on professional women and then their financial well-being. Literally, we're looking at that growth, and I'm thrilled to dive into your personal journey to financial empowerment. And I'm going to start with a brief introduction, then we're just going to jump right in. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. So I've introduced Pamela. Pamela, can you give us a 90-second overview of what you do and what got you into it?
Yes. So Universal Giving helps people donate and volunteer all over the world. So we're a web-based platform just like Amazon, but instead of listing products, we list volunteer opportunities. So you can get involved and help clean up a river in Uganda or build a home in Haiti. We just help people volunteer and donate their money to quality vetted nonprofits. And how I got involved in that was actually through my family. We were on a vacation in Mexico when I was 10, and I walked down a cul-de-sac. And when we were on at a gathering around a marketplace, and it was very joyful around the marketplace and food and music and all of that. But I walked down a cul-de-sac and I saw all of these begging, starving children, some without legs, tin cups. And I thought, this is unacceptable. And it just went across my mind. I never forgot it. And it's what drove my life calling, and eventually to the founding of Universal Giving.
Well, and that's the one thing that I read. I was doing my research on you, and I understand that you do have that passion for global change and that your inspiration came from that family trip, really witnessing that extreme poverty. And Tim, what I'd love to know is what lessons did you learn from those early volunteer experiences, like in India and El Salvador, all of the fabulous places that you've been?
Yes. So when I was doing the due diligence to start Universal Giving, I thought, I really need to make sure I understand exactly what's happening all over the world. It can't just be what I experienced in Mexico. So I started volunteering in East Palo Alto in our backyard here when it was the highest murder per capita rate in the United States, and handing out clothes and working on my Spanish and providing food for people. And then I started expanding that internationally. So I went and served in the earthquake crisis in El Salvador. And at that point, we were going where no nonprofits would go. We'd take a truck and we bring supplies in the back of a truck and drive up to the most remote mountains and villages where their water was being polluted by volcanic fluid. And there was all this dust, heavy, heavy. It just looked like war dust, pollution dust from all the buildings that had collapsed. And keep in mind, the structures we have in the United States are not the same structures that we have in the other world. There in El Salvador, most of the buildings are made out of cement. So when that earthquake hit in 2001, it was just crumbled. So many buildings crumbled. Whereas here we also faced an earthquake and we didn't have anywhere near the same level of damage. So we can't take for granted the infrastructure, the technology, the way we build things in the United States. We need to be able to help other countries have those kind of technologies. So at any rate, for example, in just one of the trips, you're going out to a place where people have lost their homes. They've got a huge tarp over 3 or 4 families, all huddled under the tarp, rain coming down, church steeple is toppled, volcanic fluid in the water, and they're just trying to survive, and no one really knows about them. So with the volunteering, we certainly don't expect everyone to do something that hardcore. But my point is, I want to really see what the state of the world is. What's going on in all these other countries? How can we really help? What are the best nonprofits to get to be able to help give this direct help on the ground? And so I was volunteering with my heart, but also so busy. My mind was working, 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 looking, how do I vet these nonprofits to make sure people feel comfortable going to volunteer there? Is this the right nonprofit? How do we qualify them? So, and how do we make sure that the volunteering is effective, positive, impactful for both sides? So every trip was so different. Every trip was so impactful. And to this day, I still continue to volunteer on a very, very strong level. And it's so important to understanding our world, being compassionate about our world, and caring about what other people's lives are. We're in a little bit of a bubble here in the United States about everything that we have here at our doorstep.
Well, and I totally appreciate what you're saying. And just to kind of put it into perspective, folks like me, we only know what we see on television. Most of us
Mhm.
haven't traveled to those places. If we're traveling, is to go to the nice touristy places, not the types of places that you're describing. So
Mhm.
I'm just thinking about all that happened recently with in the area of North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, and the devastation that they saw in that lower Appalachian mountain area.
Yes.
And one thing I'd love to hear what you say on this, because you've already talked about how you're vetting the
Yes.
nonprofit organizations. So of course, anytime we have anything like this happen in the US, that's when everybody comes out and says, hey, donate, donate. So
Mhm.
how do we as US citizens know who to donate that's actually going to be able to get stuff to the people that need it and provide them with the service?
It's very tough. And I think that you do need to be very careful about where your donation is going. You can always come to Universal Giving. We'll help you, and we'll help you find out where, the best place to donate to. We can give you some of our nonprofits. We can research it for you. We're a public nonprofit, so we're happy to do that for you for free. And so
That's
you can come to
awesome.
us and we will help do that. It's very, very tricky, the crisis giving out there. A lot of crisis giving out there is based on what donors want, not really what the needs are. So donors get excited about this type of cause, and we don't really get a chance to go and help where it's really needed and the way that's most effective. We recommend you come to us. We'll vet it for you for free. That's part of our nonprofit mission, and we'll help you.
Oh, that is so awesome. And I know our listeners are going to be excited about having a resource that they can trust. So let's make sure. Tell me real quickly, how do we access your website, the Universal
It's
Giving?
universalgiving.org, universalgiving.org.
Okay, simple enough.
Yes,
Everybody can handle that. That's
yes.
awesome. Well, and another thought that I had was just in like filling the food pantries here, even in my area here in Alabama. I just read recently that everybody gets tons of boxes of Kraft mac and cheese. But
Thank you.
what I started to say was how as much as we want to give in our own local communities, I just was reading how we're trying to fill the food pantries for those that need food, and we're automatically giving them mac and cheese, right? And they
Yes,
can't use it because they have no access to butter or milk.
yes.
So it's literally, I think we have to really work with professional organizations like yours, nonprofit organizations like yours, and find out what is the true need and what's the most effective way for us to contribute, right?
Yes. And I think we have to take it more seriously. We just assume that every nonprofit organization is doing their good job because they're trying to do something good. And yet, we, for example, at Universal Giving, have a vetting model where we have 24 stages. We vet the organization according to finance, making sure there's no terrorist activity involved in that, especially when we're dealing with international. We vet with the Me Too movement to make sure that people are being treated well within the organization. We vet according to the mission. Are they really executing on their mission? There's so many different levels and steps that we go through to make sure that the nonprofit is a great partner. And we consider them family with us. They're all a very, very strong part of our community and our network. And we're so grateful for them. So I think that you want to find that organization such as Universal Giving that is helping make sure we've got a community, a trusted community, a dialogue with our nonprofits. And if we don't have the right nonprofit that you're looking for, we'll go find it and we'll go vet it for you.
And your enthusiasm for the work that you're doing definitely comes through. So that's exciting, and I love when people are truly passionate about what they're doing. Pamela, I did read that in your initial years post college, that there was some challenges with job transitions and personal struggles that left a little unfilled. Can you share with our audience how these experiences shaped your journey toward both your personal life and your financial empowerment, and what pivotal moments pushed you to create the universal giving?
Yes, it was a tremendously difficult time out of Duke. Didn't know exactly what direction to go in. I was a political science major, and I
Mm.
went and interviewed on the Hill, and they told me you're going to be opening envelopes for 2 years, and then you'll get an opportunity to do something that feels impactful. And I thought, well, I don't even know if I want to work on the Hill. And so then I might be there for 2 years and then not get to do something I don't know if I want to do it. I went into a job in sales and built a company in sales to profitability. And that was exciting, but I wasn't so thrilled about the product. And I went into PR, which is very important, but I wasn't that thrilled about the products I was promoting. So I just was feeling very empty in a lot of ways. What I will say is that every single one of those experiences was a great launching board for universal giving. I needed sales experience. I needed public relations experience. I needed to know what it's like to look for a job and be compassionate for people trying to find their way in the world. So I would say to anyone struggling, it's all for good. It all works together for good. And you do have to be patient sometimes. Our time frame is not the universe's time frame. And so we have to be patient. We have to keep steadily, step by step, keep moving forward, keep driving ahead, keep trying to go for your goals. I felt incredibly stopped up during that time. And it was not popular to switch jobs. That was not popular. And
Mhm.
so there was a lot of questions and a lot of anxiety around that. I think it drove me even more to doing what I love to do. And so for me, when I found universal giving and I founded it, it meant so much. I knew every day I was waking up, I was doing something for the world. I was making the world a better place. And not only through our website, but through our team. I think of our team as a family. The Universal Giving family is all over the world. We're in Pakistan, India, Canada, the UK, Florida. We're all over. And it's this amazing global team. And they're very much like family to me. And so you want to be thinking when you find your calling that not only is your product something for us, we're helping people donate, we're helping people volunteer, we're supporting nonprofits all over the world. You want to make sure your mission and the execution of your product is something you want to do, but you also want to make sure that the people with whom you're working are people of integrity, with a great heart, with great compassion that you have as well, who are willing to serve each other, who are loving, who are kind. And I think you want to be looking at that to find your ideal position in life. It's both internal inside the organization and also external, how you affect the world.
Wow, that's so empowering. I'd love to hear more about your biggest challenge, whether it's personal or in your business, that you faced to this point in your life, and how that helped better prepare you for doing what you're doing today.
Well, I will say that when you're in leadership, you should prepare for multiple challenges and multiple crises. And you've got to find a way to be able to get through them. Establish a network of people around you that are supportive and kind, that no matter what the public is saying or other people are saying, that they're going to stick by you and hold true to you. People who can be a sounding board for you. You have to have a very solid team who understands your vision and knows where you're headed and is inspired by that, despite some blips. And then you also have to have, I think a very strong sense of internal resilience. So what can you do yourself? Maybe some people do push-ups, or maybe some people go on a fast. But for me, what I did is I ran some marathons without training. And I did that step by step. If I made the last step, I can make the next one. If I made the last step, I can make the next one. Now, I don't really want to know how many steps are in a marathon, but that's how I was able to get through it. So I will tell you, there are so many challenges that one faces as an entrepreneur. I'm not sure I could pick just one. I would say We got held hostage. Here's one. We got held hostage by our engineering team in India, and they would not let us access our site. And this was something that held back the mission of universal giving. And what was interesting about it, and I think this is important for nonprofit and business leaders, what we tried to do is work with them and, very Silicon Valley style, expand our team to more engineers and to open it up to build our team. That happens in Silicon Valley all the time. And so you have, for example, major Mag 7 companies that have engineers that are offshore and engineers that are here in Silicon Valley and maybe engineers in the rest of the United States. But from their perception, they didn't like that and they shut us down and did not give us the help that we needed to be able to make sure the website could run. That was a tremendously challenging situation for us. We had to hire basically engineer hackers to help hack into our website. Our mission was held back. We lost some partnerships. But you have to be resilient and realize you're in this for the long term, and that no one person and no one entity can ever hold you back. And you will be resilient. You will be kind. You will be gracious. You will be perseverant. And what you are doing is you're demonstrating to yourself, to your board, to the community, to your team, your character. That's what you're demonstrating. Because when you look at it, yes, I have a product that I need to make sure that I am dutifully getting out there and that people are engaging with our product, which is helping people volunteer and donate all over the world. But the way you get to that product is very much about your character. It's about your values. It's about your steadiness, whether you're doing really well or in the faces of duress. So I look at our values. Our values are trust. They are excellence. They are measurable results. They are listening. We always want to be good listeners. And then we added in a great value about 8 years ago, which some people made fun of me, but I added in love and graciousness. No
Oh,
matter what happens to us, we're going to continue to be loving here on the Universal Giving team, on the Pamela Hawley team. We're going to be perseverant. We're going to be loving. We're going to be gracious. So no matter what those issues were, we came out of it and went into it with firmness, graciousness. We are not giving up. We are going to figure this out. We're going to wish everyone well, and we're going to drive to our success. And that's what we do when we face a challenge. We don't give up. We don't give up. And we do that with love, graciousness, listening, measurable results, excellence, and trust. Those are our values. I think I didn't mention excellence. That's an important one. My team will tell you that. I'm all about excellence. My dad taught me that, and my mom too. Great, great leaders in excellence. So I think you want to be able to think when you're facing a challenge, who do I want to be in here as I go through this challenge? And then you got to take step by step and keep moving forward through it. All leaders face challenges. And the good news is that when you face multiple challenges, this is one of the greatest things I've learned. I went through that, I can get through this. I went through that, I can get through this. I went through that and that, I can get through this and this. And you build up a resilience of kindness, graciousness, firmness, and a strategic vision to drive ahead, and you'll make it.
that's so awesome. I think I'm going to have to put this recording on repeat just for my mental and having those positive affirmations for myself. Well, I will tell you, I know that a lot of times we get handed, you know, lessons like whatever happens, and we hate it. We're in the moment. We're cussing and mad at everybody or whatever. But it truly is what empowers us if we're willing to learn from it. And it sounds like you've taken every crisis or situation that's you've been presented with and turned it into a learning opportunity to grow and expand.
I think that's a really important thing that you just said. What's it going to do? You can ask my team. I didn't swear, I didn't cuss, I didn't get angry. I was very, very level. I think if you do that, what does it do? Will the cussing help you advance your goal? Will it make the other person be more amenable to you? Will you be able to figure this out any quicker? I didn't see how that's, first of all, that's not in my character, but I just didn't see how that would help advance the organization. And so for me, part of my job as a leader is to make sure I'm staying calm and purposeful and directing, let's do this. Okay, that didn't work. Let's do this. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, let's try this. Okay, let's do this. We're going to keep moving it forward. And so the team is seeing you be directional to solve it. And eventually something solves it. Eventually something solves it. And so that's, I think, the kind of leaders that we want to be at Universal Giving, which is what will that help if we break down, get angry, cry, swear? What will it do? It doesn't do anything. And so that's not positive energy. It's not productive energy. I've never really related to that.
That's awesome. So, and literally, what resonates with me about what you said is that, so many of us are reactionary. We just blow up in the moment or you respond in a negative way. But I feel like, based on what you've shared with me already, you are so clear in your vision, your mission, your purpose that you're able to always come back to that in the moment and remember that. And I think that's where a lot of professionals, may lack. So we need to kind of focus on building that vision for ourselves and having those disciplines and building the resilience.
Yeah. And I think, Donna, it's not just what I thought about. This hit me about 15 years ago. Why do we have a mission and a vision statement for our organizations, but not for ourselves? And so I set up my own mission and my values and my mission statement. And that's part of an inner compass. So I'll share with you some vulnerability here. When I first set up my mission statement, it was love people at all times. That's a beautiful statement. But what happened was that some people took advantage of it. And I would just keep loving no matter what, and keep loving and keep loving. And sometimes you can get walked on. So I didn't want to take that away. So I added on make decisions based on principle.
Ooh, I
Ooh,
love it.
when you add that, it brings in a gravitas to the loving, which is I am still going to be loving to you, but I'm making decisions based on principle. And if this is the right thing to do, I'm going forward full force with love and graciousness, but very firmly going forward to do what's right, making decisions based on principle. And once I weighed out my mission statement that way, my life just took off in untold ways. Rather than just spreading out love no matter what people did to me, it's a lovely motive. For me, it didn't work because there were some people who would take advantage and walk on me. So I had to put in that other kind of principle based actions that allowed me to take action and be firm where I needed to be firm. So I encourage any leader out there, have a mission and vision for your company. Bring it up all the time. We bring it up all the time at Universal Giving. For example, our vision is to create a world where giving and volunteering is a natural part of everyday life. We love that vision. But you should also have a mission, a vision, values for yourself. And then that compass is an internal compass that drives you, as well as the mission and compass and values of your organization. It's both.
I love everything that you said about that. And I'm from a selfish perspective, I have to ask, do you happen to do any education or training on how to build that mission statement and vision statement for your personal self?
I do. I do. I actually offer trainings on that. We're about to place that on PamelaHawley.com. So I have my own leadership portal and website, PamelaHawley.com. And we offer that training for people, really driving into self-knowledge and your purpose and your values so that you can be the best leader out there, no matter what organization you're a part of, and no matter whether you're leading the organization or not. Because my belief is, Donna, is that all of us are leaders. If you're walking down the street today, you have a tremendous leadership opportunity. People are like, what do you mean? Well, there's a homeless person there. You walk by them. That's a leadership choice. Your other leadership choice is to acknowledge them. Hello, how are you today? And take a moment. Are you okay? How is everything going? You don't have to give money, but you can express compassion to someone. You can express care. Sometimes I'll go into the CVS or Walgreens and go and get some food for them, something like that. So that's a leadership moment. It's a leadership moment when you're in, maybe someone's heightening and maybe your husband or your spouse or your partner is heightening. You've got a leadership moment there. You can react in kind, or you can walk away. You can say, I'd like to step away for a moment until we both regain our composure. So we have thousands of leadership moments every day. So whether you are leading an organization or working for one, it doesn't matter. We're all leaders. And so for me, I am training people on leadership all the time. You're a leader right now, right now, right now. When I explain that to people, they get a little bit shocked. They're like, but I don't even have a title. I'm in between jobs. You're a person. You're a valued person in this world. You are a leader every step you make, how you interact with the housekeeper, how you interact with your stepson, how you interact with the soccer club coach. You're a leader starting from day one as a baby. And so to me, leadership is everywhere at all times. That's a tremendous opportunity for all of us.
Oh, that's so well spoken. And I have to share with you my personal experience. I have a lot of people that say, "Ooh, I could never sell anything." They think I'm not a salesperson, but it's just like the leadership. We're always doing it. I may be influencing who we're going to meet for dinner tomorrow night, right? Or which movie we're going to go to. I'm literally selling something, regardless of whether I consider myself a salesperson, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so same idea, I think.
Same idea, same idea. Absolutely, Donna. And I think also, the way that I look at sales, we don't use that term at Universal Giving because we think about it as relationship building.
Mhm.
So I'm not here to sell you my product the first time. I'm here to build a relationship with you. I want you to understand my intentionality. I want you to understand who I am and what we have to provide to you, and to be able to provide a great opportunity for you to engage with our quality services, with our excellence, which are drive towards doing our best. And so we have relationships with people, whether they end up working with us or not. That's the number one most important thing you can build in life is those relationships that are trusting, that are positive, that are ethical, and that help give back. So for example, with our clients, because we work with corporate clients, helping them with their corporate social responsibility programs, we helping them with their strategy in any type of giving program, vet their nonprofits, disperse their funds. The way we look at it is how can we help? And every month they get our bill, they get pro bono hours. We literally say, we're going to do more for you. We're going to help you more because we want you to know how much we care. And that really leads to just unbelievably high retention rates in our client portfolio because people know we care and that we're giving back to them.
Oh, I can imagine. That sounds so awesome. So you're literally just, I feel like everybody could benefit from listening to your words today, simply on how to refocus on us being the best versions of ourselves that we can be.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
would love to know, you've built such an awesome organization, and I think just in communicating to people like me on how we can be better givers through using your organization, that's very valuable. What I'd love to know is where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What are you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah. Well, I think there's many, many, positive initiatives we have on our plate at Universal Giving. First of all, is a never-ending call to outreach to more and more important nonprofits who are local, on the ground, doing great work that no one knows about. So
Right.
we're not going to go with the most popular nonprofits out there. We really see ourselves as a vehicle to uplift awareness about the nonprofits that many people don't know about. And we help promote all the good work they're doing. We help raise them up, those nonprofits that no one knows about, which is so exciting. And to really help them be able to get the word out about what they're doing in their mission, whether that is helping feed malnourished kids or whether it is helping to clean up an area that's been ravaged by a storm. There's so many different ways to help. And many of these nonprofits are struggling and people don't know about them. So my life calling through the end of my life is really to be getting significantly into places like Somalia, the Congo, really, really tough areas. Those aren't easy areas. You've got militant skirmishes and battles happening all over there. You have severe famine, and people don't really know about them. We tend to focus on other areas that are important, but aren't the only areas in the United States. So for me, I have a calling through the rest of my life, not just 5 years, of really up leveling and getting thousands of more nonprofits, local nonprofits, all over the world in all of the 273 countries to help register and get them on universal giving so that we can feature their volunteer and donate and giving opportunities. I think for me, it's really about that. It's not just about promoting the big name nonprofits. We really need to get down into the local area and promote those local nonprofits. I think we have some really exciting initiatives on how to connect volunteers with those nonprofits. So we really encourage you to come to universalgiving.org and come to the website and find volunteer opportunities that you want. And if you don't see what you like, email us. You can email us at info@universalgiving.org and we will help you. We will help find that nonprofit for you and help match you up to the right volunteer giving opportunity that you might like. So we really care about outreaching to every single donor, every volunteer, every nonprofit we possibly can. I have a life calling that never ends. And so we have certain initiatives, but they are confidential right now, but they're really neat programs about how to match donors up with the nonprofits and match volunteers up with the nonprofits in very specific ways that will have severe, important impact across our world. And we're really excited about them.
And tell me, I know you've shared the website and email address. Are you on social media as well? How do we follow
We
you there?
are. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Absolutely. You can find Universal Giving there. So look for Universal Giving. Think about us as like the universe of good. It's like universal giving, universal giving. We just want to be giving universally. So it's universalgiving.org.
I love it, love it, love it. Awesome. Well, we're coming to the end of our interview time. So I want to thank you, for being willing to meet with somebody that you don't know from Adam. Thank you for that. I hope today's conversation left you feeling inspired, informed, and ready to take the next step in your financial journey. Remember, building wealth isn't just about money, it's also about creating a life that aligns with your goals and values. If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with the women in your life who deserve financial empowerment too. Until next time, stay confident, stay empowered, and keep building the life you desire.